surprises. Things that were not expected occur. When that happens, you can probably trace it back to a poorly written requirement, misunderstood requirement, or maybe a lack of a requirement. Customer is not satisfied with the process or the results. Sometimes that might not be a requirement issue, it might be a process issue because the stakeholder is not involved enough. When things surprise the customer at the end of the cycle, probably because they were not involved in the process. Analysts, testers, developers probably don't collaborate. They find it difficult to work in tandem. One of the things that we have seen is that people make do with their systems. People make do with their tools. So requirements are reviewed, requirements are documented in a system over here. Okay. The analyst creates a requirement after a nice discussion with the customer. Maybe writes it on a piece of paper. And then sometimes somebody else takes that piece of paper and then transfers the notes to a requirement. So something might get lost in the translation there. And then the analyst is going to notify the development team and the testing team about a new requirement. However, they do it in another system. They open up an email application and they notify everybody about a new requirement. Maybe they attach the document. It's email, which is totally unlinked, totally separate. But maybe some of the colleagues are also available through instant messaging, through some kind of online instant messaging application. But this person is online right now. I don't need to send them an email, I'll just send them a text message. Maybe I'll text them with the telephone. We call that whole phenomenon the swivel chair phenomenon, where you swivel your chair from one system to another system to another system. All good information, but it's not being collected together. And that's tragic, because if the next person, the developer, the tester, if they all could see all that information, that's a lot of good intelligence. The team is bombarded by change and always in reaction mode, always struggling to keep up. And then we all want to be more flexible, more agile, but the team is not sure how to achieve it. All of these are probably pointing to either bad requirements or a poor requirements process. So here we go. It's like a spider web. Here's the analyst in the middle, talking to the customer, writing the requirement, but of course, a requirement requires a lot of references in order to be able to explain things. Why? Because the different stakeholders have different skills. You might have a stakeholder that is a technical person, but you might have a stakeholder that is an executive decision maker. You might have a clerk in a bank. All these use cases and all these things are built for the understanding of people with different skill sets. And so we get this situation where you might have a document connected to all kinds of different artifacts, only they're not connected. Why? Well, because in a lot of cases, we use Office tools. And I'm not thinking of Microsoft, okay? It just happens to be the best example that I could find. Maybe you're using OpenOffice. I don't know. We use Microsoft Office too, as you can see I'm using PowerPoint. But you take Word, Excel, video, PowerPoint, and you use them to create and manage requirements. They're good tools. The trouble is they were not designed to be a requirements management system. So it's difficult to apply metadata